When I think of Herman Cain, I think about he ran for president and he ran a pizza company. What I didn't know is actually he did serve on the board of the Kansas City Fed at some point, didn't he?
He did, so he is a little bit closer to monetary policy, but the boards of directors of the Fed regional banks manage the business of the bank. They don't do much at all with monetary policy. They report on what they know about the regional economy. So it's some experience, some exposure, put it that way, to what happens with the Federal Reserve, but it is not a policy-making role where you would consider what was going on. He was a successful businessman, ran the Godfather's pizza chain. He was a failed presidential candidate. 2010, he announced for president, dropped out a year later because sexual harassment allegations were raised against him. And it'll be interesting to see if those come back as part of the confirmation process. It was said that Trump was holding off on nominating him until his background checks were done. In theory, that may have been done, and they may have cleared him.
Well, I wonder if we're seeing a change here, Mike. I mean, you've been observing this for so many years. There was a day when Supreme Court justices were really not controversial, just went through the confirmation process. It was also true of Federal Reserve members, right, for many, many years. But now we have this situation, as you point out, there might be some controversy with that. We have Stephen Moore, who's up. There's some controversy about his, where he paid his taxes, where he's paying child support and things like that. What is the Senate's role here in confirming these appointments?
Well, in theory, they're supposed to give advice and consent to the president and decide whether or not these people are qualified to be on the Fed. And it's a very interesting situation because during the Obama administration, President Obama nominated Peter Diamond, a Nobel Prize-winning economist from MIT, and the Republican-controlled Senate Banking Committee ruled that he was not qualified to be on the Fed. And now you have two people who most economists would say are not qualified to be on the Fed. Be interesting to see if the Banking Committee now would agree.